feel you and me till the end of time. It's too long. I gotta be the one you love. Man, you don't go ahead and let that thing out, bro. I gotta be the one you love. Sing. That's what you here for. I gotta be the one to fill your life with sunshine. Season 2, fellas. Season 2,
man. Let's open it up, man.
Damn it. Ooh, we're gonna start hot and heavy though. That's a Terramana, huh?
Yeah.
Sharing the light
I've been drinking some pretty bad tequila recently, so
could be.
you like, oh, that's.
You can tell when you get back to
That's
the
well.
song.
That's good. That's good.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just fitting. Yeah, I'm just fitting.
Welcome back. Welcome the fuck back.
Thank you, sir.
Back.
I'm excited to be back with you.
Dropping Dymes, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Back to talk a little bit more shit.
Yeah.
Give our insight, our perspectives, all that good stuff.
All that
You
good
know
stuff.
what I'm saying?
Talking to you from the life.
Yeah, man, and just try to encourage people, man, to start opening up about some of the shit they be going through, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
All the purpose of being here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To start the conversation.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
But I'm not
Start-
no snitch though.
It is. Yeah. That's good. He ain't even get to that part.
He already said this is dropping down. You just let it ride.
It's cool. You'll forget. It's all right. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, man.
Remember.
That'll be nice, wouldn't it?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, man.
So, hey, man, like I said, man, we back season 2, and we got some good conversations.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. We got some good conversations lined up. We, of course, we do our Thursday calls. Thursday call got passionate. Passionate. Shouts out to my man Roger.
Come in hot.
Again.
Man, that's crazy.
Roger is my guy. And
All day and night, bro.
we love him for it, man. We love him for who he is. Ain't no way around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Crazy. I can't wait to get that nigga back for that same conversation.
yes, sir.
Keep that same energy.
And but I respect it because he stood on it. You know what I'm saying? He stood on it. No shoes.
To the
No
max.
shoes on. Stood on it. You feel me?
Man said, I go out and show you how to ground.
Because y'all made it
Byron.
into that shit. Don't do that shit, man. Don't do that. But
You know who did it?
hey, season 2, we finna start it up. Good conversation. And man, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We in the time that we've been gone, man, there's been a lot going on. Right?
Yeah.
We don't even see ourselves as being like a current event podcast. But we have to talk about some of this stuff, man. And first and foremost, I just want to say rest in peace to all the people who were lost in these mass shootings that have happened since we went away after season 1 for our little break. There was a shooting in Buffalo, New York. There was a shooting in, what is it? Uvalde, Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
There was a shooting recently.
Pussy. Oh, my bad.
Oh, the police?
No.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the one that did the shooting, but that
too. Where was recently they were shooting on the 4th of July in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Where else were they shooting?
Everywhere.
Like,
shooting all over the world.
Yeah, man. And
No, for real.
And if we miss it, like, it's not even all over the world. It's in America, all over the U.S. Let's say that. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
All over the U.S. If we're missing some, I know I'm almost more than sure that we are. We definitely didn't mean to miss it, but respect to those who lost loved ones, condolences, prayers to those families who lost their loved ones, man, and just a quick moment of silence for that. So and
I'm quiet off jump because I'm just thinking about like the loss of life, bro.
That was the quickest moment of silence I ever had in my life.
And the loss of life is the loss of opportunity, the loss of relationships, family connection. Like, it's so deep when somebody is no more. And for somebody to take it in their hands, going through whatever they're going through, and we're going to get into some of the things that people may drive people to get to that point, but it's no reason to take another person, let alone children's lives, out of this world, man. It blows my mind. It's, you know, that passion that Roger showed us on Thursday. Yeah, like, that's how fucking passionate and frustrating that shit is to me. When you take it in your hands to take somebody's life because of the trauma and the things that you going through. Like, it's tough to watch the news, honestly, because of it's tough to watch the news because of these things that are happening in this world. But the thing that we're gonna talk about today is, I think it's the first step in trying to prevent these things from happening down the line, and it's recognizing the trauma that people are going through, are dealing with, and trying to help prevent or start the healing from those traumas in our society. So the topic today is PTSD. When you hear that, Brandon, what does it mean to you, and then do you feel like it's affected you in your life?
I would have to say yes, but I can't pinpoint exactly, you know, what it is. But I think you know, just being a black man in America, you know, where you grow up, you know, well, some people grew up kind of different, but coming from certain environments, you know, you can have PTSD from, you know, where you come from. But a lot of us can't really, you know, like I said, accurately pinpoint exactly what it is, or what traumas that you may have. But yeah, like, even from the conversation we had Thursday, shit, you know, growing up with the police situation, that was the conversation we had on Thursday, as far as, you know, how black people are treated versus, you know, other races or whatever. But I don't want to go into that, because that could be a whole different topic.
Talk from you.
Yeah. I haven't really thought about exactly what my PTSD would be, because just the way I live life is, I'm kind of a fuck it, I'm just gonna go with it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, deal with whatever comes. So I don't really know exactly where, you know, where it stems from or what it is. So I don't really have, you know.
I was listening to this guy talk about PTSD, and he said from his one lane of it is kind of what you just said, is we're in a society, in the world, especially as men, is just get over it.
Yeah.
And that's a form of PTSD. If I never have to deal with my emotions, and I got all this energy built up from not being able to, knowing how to express myself, and now I lash out. But I see that is acceptable in the world around me.
That was perfect. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, so that could be my PTSD.
I think what you just said plays a huge part in everything that's been going on. And when you started talking, I started thinking about it. It was the other shooting in Illinois.
Yeah.
All right. So I think one of the things that we're not addressing or recognizing is that these mass shootings happen by males.
Yeah.
Right. And naturally, I think men are just a little more violent because it's allowed, or it's almost sometimes promoted when we were younger, right?
Does testosterone play a part to you?
Absolutely. I think that plays a part, but I think society plays a part.
A huge part, yeah.
Like, as boys, if y'all couldn't agree, other people pushed you up, like amped you up, like, man, fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that plays a part. And I think also what you said is not being able to express your emotions, right? So now you got all this stuff pent up. Mm-hmm. And that's what you will find. A lot of these guys who are doing these shootings are upset about something.
Yeah.
I feel like black people are starting to take all the jobs, or I feel like and we don't even know what the kid was going through down in Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for you to walk into an elementary school and feel like these are your targets. Like I can't even imagine what that had to be in his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the shooters we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what trauma they faced or going through. But I do think what you said actually plays a huge part. Like not being able to express yourself emotionally, having things pent up, and then just a natural aggression as men. And like I was saying, I feel like that's the one part that's not being addressed is that men are these shooters. Like most times, white men are these shooters.
Yeah.
And I saw on Fox News the other day they were saying that marijuana plays a part. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, come on, bro.
You know
like,
what's crazy?
That's like a reach.
You know what's crazy about it being white men, and I'd like to talk to a psychologist or something one day. Is like we grow up thinking like they got all the freedom in the world. They can say whatever they want to say. They can be whatever they want to be. But why are they the ones that maybe they just don't learn how when something actually starts to get hard?
Yeah.
Because we tend to have to deal with hard stuff our whole lives, and it's just like just another day.
So you may not even you remember when I can't remember what the topic was, but I was like, I think it was more so. I think we were talking about how we deal with difficulties in our life, and I was like, the guy who's a banker, he loses his job and he comes home and kills his whole family.
Yeah,
bro, we face these adversities and we just keep it moving, like. Bro,
but really, do we keep going? But I want to ask that question because of our community.
Yeah, so I think we do a better job of managing bad situations, continuing on, and we may not talk about it the way that we should, but when do we have time? Like if you think about a black man, right? Think about the things that we go through on our daily. Like, when do we have time to stop and really cry, or if God forbid we complain, right? So I think that's where we have to find those safe spaces, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like our Thursday call. Y'all having y'all wives to talk to. I actually do have like a couple like friends that I can really call and be like, yo, like you got a little time, you know what I'm saying? You got that capacity for it, because I got to let some shit off, but. Realistically, in a real run-of-the-mill day, when can you stop and just be frustrated or be pissed or whatever? Like, we have a second for that shit. Like you find out you got to do some shit at work. You like, bro, this ain't even my fucking job. And you just go do that shit because it's like, they may fire me if I show this emotion. Yeah. If I show that I'm frustrated. And other people actually get that opportunity to be like, yo, I don't think this is fair. We know this shit ain't fair for us. This shit ain't been fair for us in a long time. Like I was telling y'all, bro, I literally had this conversation and we don't think of it as PTSD, but it actually is, because it's post-traumatic stress syndrome, right? So at my previous job, anytime I did a one-on-one with my supervisor or my manager, it was always me having to defend myself. Like, it was a constant defense. Like, hey, why'd you do this? Like, God damn, like, because that's what the papers say to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was constantly having to do that. So anytime I saw on my calendar I had a one-on-one with this particular woman, I already knew it was going to be me playing the back and forth game or me defending myself, or like it not being a real conversation, but me actually having to be like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now at my new gig, yo, my manager, buddy ain't been nothing but a good person to me, right? He hit me up. He be like, yo, let's do a quick one-on-one. I be like, God damn. Here it is.
Here we go.
Here it is. I'm about to have to slap this nigga through the shoes. Bro, like I said, my man ain't been nothing but good. So when we get on the one-on-one, he be like, yo, just want to tell you good job, man, on blah, blah, blah. I be like, oh, thought I was going to slap you. I'm glad you showed up like this, because I don't know if you can see, but I got a little powder in my hand. I was about to slap shit out you. But, and we don't think about it because we laugh stuff off.
Right.
But Bro, that's really a form of PTSD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when we go to clubs and we see people, we hear people start to get loud. Like you be somewhere, like you could be at a family function. People start to get loud. You like, you looking for exits.
You're right.
We're taught as men,
And they could be over there celebrating something.
Yes, bro. We're taught as men how to function through PTSD. Let me tell you, and y'all think about this. When you walk into a place, you like, yo, I don't sit with my back to doors.
Facts.
PTSD.
Look, my wife know.
And we don't even think about it as that. We just think about it as this is some manly shit.
Yeah.
But what's the
you were
need
taught
for it?
You were taught that because somebody else went through a bad situation.
Right.
So we're literally walked into being.
Man, there's so much shit that's like second nature.
that we don't think about as being what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
That was
bro.
established from some traumatic event.
That's crazy.
For somebody else.
Yeah.
And then it's taught to us as this is just your manly shit.
So you said taught to, because a lot of people think like, especially with PTSD, you hear and first thing a lot of people go to is like war.
The military.
But PTSD could be transferred through generations. And I was listening to this lady, and it was still, the acronym is still PTSD, but she was like post-traumatic slavery disorder. So the traumas that we were succumbed to in slavery, in our trip across the water to in bondage, those things are affecting us in today. And we don't even realize, like, because we had to figure out how to live off the bottom of the barrel type food.
Right.
Like the things that we cook together naturally just is because of what they gave us. That's all we had left.
Yeah.
But of course we celebrated because we gotta find a way to be happy about whatever we got. But we're trained to eat from the bottom of the barrel, which creates health issues down the line, which creates a space where we don't even realize that we are in a traumatic space where we start lashing out at other people because of, look, I'm hurting. Now you dealing with me. Yeah. I'm gonna let you feel my pain.
Yeah.
Like so many things transferred through just the path of us being in this country that we still enact today. But we have to realize, like, this comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
And
like,
is it a good place?
We're literally 3 generations from being slaves.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, like,
so my grandfather's mother was a slave.
That's what I'm saying. Like they were either slaves or sharecroppers. At best, sharecroppers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But realistically, 3 generations. That's tough. Think about that. Like your kids can say, all right, I'm not 3 generations from it. You know what I'm saying? But us, like where we fall, we're literally 3, maybe 4 at the most from being slaves.
Yeah. And
do you like, even like you said, the foods, the things that we talk about.
Look, I was thinking about the people that we are just now feeling like we can actually compete with white people in the world, because we grew up with, our family comes from a space where no, you don't compete with them. Mm-hmm. You compete and battle amongst yourselves, right. But that's not where you compete at. That's where you die. That's why you dumb it down and docile and be accepting. No, we're in a space now. We're trying to grow out of that, but that's why we're like that, because that's all we knew in this country. That's the only way we can get ahead in this country, get accepted in this country, get a good piece of cake in this country.
But they say keep your head down and work hard.
And work hard.
Generation don't give a fuck about none of that.
Nah,
they compete with everybody.
Everybody.
I love it. Yeah,
I respect it. I respect it too. But I think our generation is the one where we started to to come out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was like, man, like essentially like it may be taken the wrong way. I'm like, man, fuck them white folks, right? Because we saw our parents being docile to them. You know what I'm saying? We saw our parents getting the jobs and training them to be their manager.
Bro, my mother did that exact.
My mom did the same thing, bro.
Exact thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like young cats, young Caucasians or whoever came in, our moms, dads training them to be their manager. So a person 10, 15, 20 years, your junior, coming in telling you what to do now. And you don't even know what to do.
And you taught him what to do.
He still don't know what to do. He come to you like, hey, what should happen in this situation? Well, this is what blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, do that.
See, this to me that's how important our parents' generation was, because they saw that happening And then they tried to instill in us to start thinking about the freedom of growth and not being restricted by your color, your whatever, your gender. Like this next generation may not be completely free, but to us, mentally free. Yeah. Like who are you? Yeah. This how I feel. I'm gonna let you know. Yeah. Now the thing is, when you give anybody some type of freedom, everybody run way to the end of the spectrum. We got to learn how to reel it in, but like we're in an interesting space, and we got a lot of responsibility in this space right now.
So let me ask y'all this: like, I know we talk about PTSD, and like we always think of it in a sense of like the stuff that happened, like gunshots and shit like that. Like, do you think you suffer from PTSD in relationships?
Definitely. That's one of the things I thought about. Bro, I had a girlfriend in high school, and I just heard that she went to the bowling alley with a dude. I don't know what happened.
Man was about to go shoot that.
Not at all.
God, about to go up there with the banana clip.
but honestly, what in my head, the way I played it out, and I didn't go to my pops and talk to him about it. I didn't go to anybody and talk to him. I just interpreted in my head. I was like, oh, this is how the game played, huh? Oh, we out here. So it was tough for me, and me and my wife have had plenty of discussions like that monogamy thing. I was like, bro, everybody out here, you say you with this person. Nah, I'm gonna go holler at this person. Like I was like, that's normal. But I never talked to anybody about like, yo, she's a young lady. She don't know what she doing, or you weren't. Look, I wasn't taking on no date, so she wanted to go on a date. But I never talked to anybody about that. But I carried that for a long. I mean, my life ain't been that long, but for a long time, and what I got, I was in my mindset. I was like, it's fair game out here. And then my wife had to teach me some lessons.
What about you, my guy?
No.
Man, you can't do that, brother. You cannot. Hey, you better incriminate yourself.
That's funny. Look, hell no. But nah, what's wrong with it? What you heard? What you said? I ain't no snitch. But PTSD from past relationship. Nah, not really. For real. I probably given some PTSD. No, not. I'm saying, you know, I
know you telling the truth.
Young, you know, not, you know, yeah. I was a young guy that didn't, you know much and didn't do all the right things back in the day. So, you know.
Did you learn that from somewhere?
What you mean?
To maneuver like that. To maneuver in a way that would hurt somebody. Because if you watch TV and stuff in movies, you're gonna be romantic and all of that.
I can't say I did. I can't say I learned it from nowhere. I don't know. I just kind of went with whatever
felt good.
They allowed me to do. You know what I mean? At the time. What's funny?
You fool.
You asking me a question,
and I appreciate your answer.
You know what I mean? Like
I appreciate your answer.
So, I guess the PTSD would be, you know, to be like to not do that because I've seen, you know, what it could do to somebody. Okay. So, yeah, I got a positive from it. Look at that. See, I just turned that thing around.
You winning on both sides.
Turn that frown upside down. Yo.
But yeah. What about you, Byron?
Yeah, hell yeah. I think, like you said, I've given as much as I've taken. I can honestly say that. Not on purpose.
I'm sure.
Yeah, not on purpose.
Hold on, time out. In the 8th grade, I did get my heart broke, and I carried that for a while. Everything after that, yeah, it was. I felt like Wallace. It was on.
Yeah, buddy. Like you punishing everybody.
Look, we lied, baby.
And that's kind of what happens. We had one bad experience, and then, like, especially for men, I think we had one bad experience, and we carried that for a long, long time. And then it is almost about after that is like trying to find somebody who can take time to help you heal and learn how to love and do all this stuff the right way. Like you said, you and Jamie had to have some conversations. Those are tough conversations too. Yeah. But I know, like, man, like I know there was this girl And she was like, yo, like, I just want to be with you. And I was like, I don't really do titles, so I don't know how you're going to figure this
I
out.
remember that conversation.
Like, yeah, like.
I don't do titles. That used to be a good one.
And that could still be a right now conversation, because it's
for you.
Yeah, like,
I got the title.
Yeah. See that?
I'm not
like,
jumping in there.
I'm going to tell
That's
you,
the boat I'm not jumping.
what's funny is, like, I be like, I know people with way bigger titles than boyfriend and girlfriend. They doing what the fuck they want to do. So what's in this title?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah.
and I get it, because the title is for everybody else, right? To kind of be weary or whatever the situation is. It's for them to see and understand and hear. But if, like, I remember I was like, if we're in this house together, how many times do we say, "Hey, girlfriend," "Hey, boyfriend"? So who the title for? It's for everybody.
It's for the world.
Yeah. It's for everybody else. We can literally sit down and have a
it's
conversation.
for the world and your responsibility. That's what it's for.
And it's kind of for her though, because she wants that, like,
security.
Yeah.
But I can make you feel secure with my words and with my actions.
Yeah, and then they get to a certain point, they're like, "No, I want the title."
Yeah.
But what does the title do?
It makes her feel secure.
It makes her feel.
I can make you feel secure with my words and my actions.
But that shit ain't enough. Clearly, Byron.
And here
see, that's your problem right now. You don't listen.
Hey, look, kick back, cross it up.
And see, that's why I said I would be a Byron if.
Don't be a me. Don't be a me.
So a word that you said in when you were describing just like the PTSD circumstance was healing. And I was listening to Jay-Z a little while ago, and he was like, what's revealed can be healed. And that's why the word awareness is so big to me. Is like, if you start being aware that I commit an action, and then try to figure out the awareness of why I commit this action.
And then the accountability.
And then you can start to heal yourself, and then possibly heal generations behind you.
Yeah.
Because like they talk about alcoholism. And I'm not an alcoholic, but I've had alcoholism in my family. I've had it in my family. But at one point, or I'm gonna think about my dad. I didn't grow up eating pork, because he realized my family had a history of high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, all these things that were generated from, like I told y'all, the diet that we were okay with developing throughout our PTSD. Mm-hmm. He was like, nah, I want to stop that in me, and I want to stop it in my family. So his awareness allowed him to make a different decision, which hopefully helps generations beyond him. I think that's the space where everybody's talking about mental health right now. And I put quotations because some people get funny about it, but it's a real thing that we need to discuss. We need to invest in, because then we start building awareness of who we are, our actions, and then starts developing the healing, the healing plan that will help us continue to grow, and generations behind us help them grow and manifest.
I'm about to touch one, man. Like how we were just talking about, like, everybody's affected with different things, right? Let me pull this mic. Everybody's affected with different things.
Get close.
So I think one of the things that we have to, like, I know I had to look at in my family, just for the men, is like, bruh, just being, one, misogynistic, and two, a womanizer. And I think it wasn't looked at generations before, because it was like, well, it's just what men do.
Yeah.
My uncles had kids outside their families, like almost all of them.
Yeah.
It was a given. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a given.
like, bro, as I got older,
that's what we do.
Yeah, like no bullshit. As I got older, they was like, that's your cousin. And I'm like, how?
Right.
Uncle so-and-so, that's his daughter.
No, Uncle so-and-so married to.
Yeah, like, but that ain't my.
Yeah, that ain't my aunt child.
Yeah, and he like, no, that was, they was on a break.
Yeah.
But they wasn't.
Yeah, they
you know
on a break that afternoon.
Yeah, break. I went on break for work, right? So I think it's like those are the same discussions that need to be had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think so many family secrets have stopped people from growing and stopped the generations following from being better. And like, honestly, man, it's happening in my family right now. Not necessarily with the womanizer thing, but people like my honestly, my sister and my nieces are going through the same thing. Like, my nieces now are dating the same types of dudes that my sister dated when she was younger, right? And I literally see it. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, you need to stop and have a conversation with your girls so that they can break this, because this is about to become a generational curse.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can see it from the outside because I see what type of they talking to. Mm-hmm. I know them. I might have been one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being for real, I might have been one. Yeah. Not necessarily because I was always impressive to parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, parents be like, damn, you got good grades. You just from the west side of Montgomery. You can't trust that. He might break in here tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Never would I have broken into a person's house. But it was always just, you know what I'm saying? It was what was thought of as my side of town, right? So I was like, hey, you really need to have a conversation with them because they're literally dating that we remember you dating.
Right.
Stop this. You know what I'm saying?
And you see it.
And you, but they don't want to, like, that's the accountability part.
Exactly.
That was, I was fucking up with my dating back then. Or like, and then also being transparent. Like, that's a big thing. Like, you remember how, like, when we was younger, it was like, that was grown folks business. Uh-huh. That's grown folks business. Get your ass out of this room. We talking grown folks talk, right? And I get that. Like, and I honestly feel like grown folks business still needs to happen, but there still needs to be a level of conversation with your kids so that they realize, hey, mom and daddy used to fuck up.
Yeah.
We ain't perfect. We wasn't perfect. I know somebody right now that's going through it with their daughter because their daughter said, well, you perfect, so you don't understand what I'm going through. No.
You know what kind of broke a little bit of my trust with my pops growing up? That man told me, don't smoke. I never smoked. I never smoked weed. I'm like, dang, he's perfect. Man, my grandmother had, I found that man weed bag when he was like 14 years old. I was like, hold on.
So then it changed the way you think about it.
Yeah. But if it's a different, it may give me the light of like, hey, it's a possibility I might smoke. It possible to say, yeah, I had a period in my life where I smoked weed. But it's a conversation I can come to pop like, bro, these dudes down the street, they trying to get me to smoke. What should I be aware for? Man, the first time that I smoked, I was at a party. Somebody shotgun me. I didn't know what was going on. I had never had a conversation with nobody about weed, but I was like,
and that was because the conversation was given to you, like, don't do
it.
And I ain't never did it.
So you don't even know if I don't even know if I can come to you because you don't know what's going on either. We both blind out here. Now I'm out here getting guns blowed in my mouth
by men.
By other men.
PC culture, it's okay.
But for real, man, I think, man, we could get ahead of some of this stuff, man, if we sat down and had the conversations. And I think another big thing is actually seeking the help that we need, because I feel like we're still struggling with, hey, you need to go to therapy. Man, even go see no therapist, man, for crazy folks.
But you gotta realize, one in yourself realize that I might have an issue.
Yeah, and
a lot of people feel like, straight, bro, I've been managing, I'm good.
So I think that's a generational thing too.
Agreed.
Yeah,
that's a
what
generational.
He said in the beginning.
Yeah, like that's a generational thing. Like, cause I know my mom took us to therapy when we was younger, like when we was kids, but it was because we were trying to kill each other.
Like you and your brothers?
Me and my household.
Okay.
Girl, everybody. Like,
PTSD.
Boy, we was like cartoons, bruh, like writing out little plans, making drawings and shit. Like,
I'm finna tell you what's so crazy about that.
Like,
y'all really had to be some crazy motherfuckers for your mama. And I know our parents don't believe in that shrinking therapy. They shrink then.
Yeah. My mom was like, oh, y'all crazy. I'm about to take the whole family in here so that y'all can sit down so we can realize why y'all hate each other. And then we went in there and was like,
good.
We love each other.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Get in the car. Straight up. So it was introduced to us early, but we weren't vulnerable and transparent. Yeah. So of course it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I battled with my older brother being like, you ugly. we probably could have got that figured out if we had actually went in there and did it the right way.
Right.
But we didn't. And we still turned out. Call me ugly again.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to think about, to envision. But I didn't know if we wanted to get in this, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into it. So we talk about post-traumatic stress disorder and what it can look like. And recently I like music. I like listening to it. But I actually just started like listening to words.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, because I used to just listen for a beat.
To words.
But I started listening
at
32, whatever, man.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, it takes some time for some folks.
I'm so proud of you.
But I started listening to a lot of music, and I'm listening to young black men talking about, look, blowing the back of somebody's head off, kidnapping somebody, doing these very demonic things. And to me, it's all generated from post-traumatic shit. Like, that's almost normal for a community, for somebody to see that. And it's like, yeah, we can talk about this is nothing. But in any other society or any other area, not any other, in most, I guess, of what you would call standard society, that's fucking crazy. And then the second part is, and I don't even want to do verses because both of these are like off the wall to me. No, I don't even see the point in. If you want to, we can. But like R. Kelley just got his sentencing, and what R. Kelley did is like off the wall to me as well. And then but you hear the story of how R. Kelley grew up and his post-traumatic stress of somebody molesting him, and in his mind it almost becoming acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah. So dealing with those in our society, like one, I call it murder culture, and then two, the culture of molestation and sweeping it under the rug. Kendrick Lamar just had in a couple of his songs, like his mom got molested, and she thought that he got molested, and he told her it never happened.
And they never believed him.
And they never believed him because everybody gets molested in a community. Not everybody, but quotation.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. So like, how do we combat those two, which represent really a whole genre of demonic actions in our community? Because honestly, right now, I'm trying to take care of home. Like, how do we attack those? Because you can't stop a kid from seeing his brother shot in front of him on the street in Philadelphia. But now we singing about it and promoting it in our music. Like, what's that conversation like?
I think it's a tough conversation. I definitely feel like it's still a conversation that has to be had, because that's the only way for us to get by it or get past it, right? Or to grow through it from it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what his mom was doing was the right thing. Like, hey, is anybody doing this to you? Because let's attack it and get ahead of it instead of you going through it for years. Because I know a few people who've actually gone through that, and they still, even as adults, you can see this, they still suffer through certain things, right?
Yeah.
But with the murder culture, it's crazy because we don't see it as being as bad for some reason. Like the conversation, like let's just be real. The conversation that we had on Thursday was which one is worse.
Right.
Right. So realistically, I don't think there's a worse, but if we had to stack them in our community, sadly enough, we feel like, and not even a sadly, because it's bad either way.
Right.
But we actually said, well, I know I said, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but for me, I felt like the molestation was worse, right? Only because there's no reason that should happen. I can, in my mind, and I hated to sound like this on the call because of what we had just gone through with Roger, but there's I can justify a murder in my mind. I can never justify why somebody should touch a 9-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
I said
because even the military says meet the energy with a certain type of energy, right? I'm about whatever you about. We can have that type of talk, or we can go into that type of action. So if it get to that, if we get into a point and it look like you going for my neck, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Right? Never a reason
to fuck a kid.
Ever. And I know you said, you was like, there's no reason to ever murder somebody. I feel you.
I disagree.
You fuck my kid,
I'll kill you. A Time to Kill.
And I don't.
and I hope you burn it.
Look, and I don't combat that at all. Like that's
Let me going back to the rap shit, right?
Yeah.
What you said and how they promote it.
Yeah.
Product of your environment.
Facts.
Right. So if I'm in love, I'm probably gonna sing about being in love. But if I'm from this shit and I'm good at rapping about this shit, and this is what's gonna get my family away from this shit, that's what I'm gonna do. Right? So I don't think it's more so of a promotion. It's just all that a lot of these people know.
It's their truth.
Yeah. And so that's just what it is.
I understand that part, because when you are a musician or artist, you develop your art from your truth. So I hear it, but like why isn't somebody that's, and this is, I keep asking this question to everybody, why isn't there somebody that went through undergrad, grad, got all 8 degrees, and they come out and rap about something scholastic is not as exciting to our community? Is that because they can't relate to that?
J. Cole's a great rapper.
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying, like,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. That the last album that I think is 95 South, his last album. Anyways, the last album I remember when people
the off season.
Okay, whichever was the last album J. Cole put out. Yeah. I saw people was like, man, don't nobody want to hear all this conscious shit. They were saying the same thing with this last Kendrick. And I think,
and look, I love
it, and it's like people don't want to hear it. So I agree with you. People seem like they don't like, if it's that higher thinking, like,
but
sometimes
it's
we get
for
away from
somebody, because
you love
absolutely them, right? So somebody's listening. It's just, it all depends on what you want to hear.
And look, I'm gonna say
a demographic.
Yeah,
because like you said, it's got to be relatable.
I want you to tell your truth. I do. Like, if that's what you experienced and that's your way of your therapy of getting it out, cool. But what's happening is kids that ain't living like that, that's idolizing that.
But that shit been since the beginning of time.
But see, now we talking about curing these generational things. How do we attack that? And it always, to me, is always, you got to handle your circle. But like you saying, it's not possible.
Impossible. Because we're always gonna have the person that's actually from there. We're also gonna have the person that's from the suburbs who's influenced by that.
Right.
That's with everything though.
And then it's also going to be
the person. You also gonna have the guy
that's in it that wants to be out of it.
That wants to be out of it.
Yeah.
But and like I said, that's with everything.
It's gonna be a
guy
balance.
from the projects.
It's gonna be a balance.
Going to the bank for the first time, asking the bank teller, "Man, how did you get this job? Like, what do I need to do to get?" So it's both sides. It's just that's just the way life gonna be.
I think that's just how life balances out.
Yeah.
I think it's just how it balances out. Like with good and evil, right? Like, it's somebody out here that's feeding people, like, because they hungry, right? And then there's another nigga, man, that's literally just waiting on somebody to walk out their stove so he can stick them up. And he ain't worried about who folks they is or nothing else.
People gonna get influenced by whoever they want to get influenced by. And like I said, that's from the suburb kid getting influenced by the gangster, and that's from the kid in the lower poverty area getting influenced by the CEO of whatever. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I hear that.
What it's gonna be.
And it
both being influenced,
sadly enough,
just different ways.
Sadly enough, even with the molester, because chances are they were molested, so they were influenced, right?
Yeah. That this is somewhat okay.
And that's
but
the way they're thinking.
I don't know. You have to know that. You have to know that it's not okay, because
when you have to know that shooting somebody in the back of the head is not okay.
But also
it's a justification for a lot.
But there's
so I think there's a reason for every murder, right? And that could be whether I just don't like you. Because you're black,
Poverty,
because you're
patriarchy.
Asian, because you're whatever, right?
But then you get to say
No
and
reason.
it hurts me to say this, but then you get to say in that person's mind,
There's no
It's
it's
reason.
okay to have sex with this kid.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
all
don't-
you saying.
No,
is that
no.
whatever this demonic thing that I'm thinking of, it's okay because I can justify it.
No.
You can't see it.
Listen, no, it's to me in their minds, it's okay because it happened to me, and I'm fine.
That's
But
a
you-
justification.
That's what
And you saying, bro, don't need to live no more.
but it's just like in the conversation that we had. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying
No,
it's
no, no.
okay.
I'm
Neither-
with you.
But
no,
in their
it's not
minds,
okay.
it's okay to them in their minds because it happened to me. I'm fine. This kid will be fine.
But they have to know that it's not okay.
See,
right?
But-
now you're expecting them to think
just
like you.
just like the people that murder somebody because of the color of their skin, right? They know it's not okay, but this is just how I feel. Like I can't. It's no reason. Like it's no. I can't. I don't know.
But
No.
that's the reason though.
So no,
Yeah,
and you're
I guess
also
I'm trying to follow
you're
you,
also
but it's
thinking
just-
from a balanced mindset.
Relatively.
Some people are completely
Depends on who you
imbalanced.
ask, right?
Some people are completely imbalanced, and they're they operate from a different mindset. So you're operating from a completely sane thinking mindset. This person may not be operating from that mindset, bro.
But I mean, I don't know. Because
Go ahead.
I think some murders are okay, right? They are. Like you just said, if you fuck my kid, I'm gonna kill you. I think I have. You did it. Thank you, sir. You did a great job for your family. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's okay. I don't know.
The only difference between the two for me, and this is why when we said worse is murder, because there's nothing comes back from murder. And as bad and as horrible as molesting a child is, there's healing, there's opportunity on the other side for everybody. The
Possibility for it.
there's a possibility with, and that is it's not guaranteed, but with murder, it's gone. It's it. And I think I come from a space, and everybody comes from their life. Like the name I carry is really because my uncle was murdered in the streets of Baltimore. His opportunity, his life, anything he could have done is gone. And honestly, that's part of my PTSD. Like growing up, and it kind of hindered me from confrontation. It's like this is what got my uncle was killed in a fight. He was fighting somebody, and somebody stepped out the crowd and shot him in the head. So in my mind, my PTSD is like I can't get in confrontation in the streets because this is a possibility. But that kind of held me back from entering confrontation. But in my mind, death, killing is over. There's no opportunity from it. And you taking that person away from so many other people. Molestation is terrible. I can't even like try to be like, yo, it's awful. But there's opportunity for something on the other
For
side.
you, murder is worse than molestation.
So let me speak on the side of the
Yes or
molestation
no?
part. Because
Talking.
because like you said, like there's opportunity, right? But then there's also like what if you don't have access to that healing? Which
But that's what possibility is. You may or may not.
So you're from a area or a economic background where you don't necessarily have the opportunities to get this healing that you need. So then you grow into essentially possibly the
Right.
person that you were. The people who I know who went through things like that as kids were either hypersexual or like had no like don't touch me ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they went through life like that.
Right.
So like there's still a sense of theft and murder for even those people who lived through it because their childhoods were stolen. And then this part of their life was killed for them. You know what I'm saying?
Look at it like this, and this is a tough conversation to have. Oprah went through her situation as a child, molested, had a baby. I can't remember if the baby died or they was taken away. Oprah is killed or Oprah is molested has the possibility of being Oprah today.
But think about those kids who were.
And Oprah's people don't come get me. I'm just telling the story that I heard.
Should have said Tyler Perry.
You think about people who were molested, who later killed themselves because they couldn't and because of how it happened. It could have been a family member or whoever, right?
That's a
and having to
conversation
continue
that need to be had,
facing that person, they just took their own life.
But the only difference, and like we talking about the worst things in the world right now.
No, I get it. The possibility.
The only difference is there's a possibility.
Yeah, I get
and
what
with
you're saying.
death, there is nothing you can't. It's no coming back from it.
So
that we've seen.
So I think we end this one with I think it's a agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But I think I'm.
Wallace, you never answered my question.
I think me and my boy.
I think I did though.
You didn't.
I mean, I think I did with my description.
Do you think murder is worse than molestation?
On top of everything I just said, yes.
Cool.
Watch out for Wallace.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, dog.
I'm just talking shit. Y'all know I'm just talking shit.
That was my joke. Oh my God. I'm rubbing off on Byron.
Oh man. How we start the season off with this, right?
First of all, it ain't like clearly both are terrible.
No,
at the bottom under the barrel.
Nah,
let's just put that out there. Both are terrible. But I can tell you right now, if it came down to it,
but
I'm just letting you know.
In the words of Byron, if you fuck my kid, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm ills in real life.
No question about it. And look, and what's crazy is I can't say I wouldn't either.
Nah, I know you couldn't.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, because it's one of those situations you don't know how it's gonna go.
Yeah, you don't.
You know how like when we was younger and they be, man, what if you caught your partner cheating? You like, man, I killed that. No, you probably not. We ain't said a bunch of stuff like that.
I hope y'all don't do that.
We've debunked a lot of shit that we said. Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna never eat pussy, man. Shit.
Now you for breakfast.
And I swear to God on my grandma and everything.
All right, Channing Crowder.
Look, all kinds of shit.
This our Channing. So
I'm just saying, you go back on a lot of shit you said as a kid, man.
Absolutely,
you know, that's all.
And
of course, you had to pull that one though. But
and straight up, like it's a lot of stuff that go on, man. We don't know how we're gonna react to it until we're in that situation, right?
Yeah.
And that's just life. That's adulting. That's growing. And if you had encountered it in your 20s, you might have reacted or overreacted to it, right?
Nah, for real.
But then you run into it in your 30s, and you like, is it worth it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I should probably think this thing through. I got more to live for.
Yeah.
I got to make it home.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey man, I feel like I gotta put this disclaimer on, but like I don't feel like molestation is acceptable in no space. Man, bro, I got to. I just feel this energy. I'm like, bro,
on his heart.
I swear to God, bro, like I said, I would take anybody that commits that to.
Bro, you said it. Murder is worse. So
yeah, I feel you, but I want to just make sure we understand. We
don't feel me.
No, we understand.
Nah, we got.
I just, like I said,
both are bad though. Like I'm not promoting murder either. Goddamn shit. No, I'm not saying do it. Shit.
All right, as long as we understand.
Yeah.
We understand, my guy. We just joshing.
Yeah. No, it's just that's a tough one to talk about.
It is. That was. I didn't think you were gonna go there.
But yeah, you stood on your shit, and we respect that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. But a lot of that, what we just talked about.
Kelley after this?
Nah, bro. I'm done. I had enough of it. But what we just talked about, the tough discussion we just had, truly all stems from the PTSD that we all experience.
For sure.
And I keep Jay-Z's, I actually wrote it on my wall, like, what's revealed can be healed. So we continue to have the awareness in our lives, things that we're doing, the things that may need to change. And then working towards that healing in today's society, it's the mental health, it's the counseling. It's, look, even just sitting down and talking to your boys, because a lot of times, like I told you, when I got my heart broken, I sat in my own head for years.
Yeah.
For being able to come out and talk to you, and you probably be like, bro, you tripping, dog. It ain't even that big a deal. Yeah. You fucking 15.
The same thing happened to him in 8th grade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That mother. You know who you are.
You created a monster.
I don't know if she watching or not.
She created
I'm
created a
I'm find
monster.
and send it to her.
She watch.
Turned me to a motherfucking animal, man. Lord have mercy.
In the streets.
Hey, look, now
Should've
take
had to turn
your
them around.
accountability though. You take some responsibility.
No, I
man.
did.
All
Nah,
right,
for
cool.
sure. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah, I think in the 8th grade, man. Fuck
I
that.
was in love.
Yeah, that man
I
probably
was
he had
in-
no
that was
responsibility.
once he
into
turned
it.
21.
No, I was about to
First
say
love.
she probably just a little more advanced.
Listen,
Most of these
that
girls
was my
are.
first love, cheated on me, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I went through the same. I took this broad shoes.
Cried.
Like, give me these shoes. Tied them together and threw them over the power line. Nobody wears them.
And you gonna walk past his every day and
And
remember.
remember
Yeah,
the day
crazy.
you cheated on Byron.
Oh man,
Hey man, another good episode.
we back,
We
Kick
back.
it back, man.
We back.
man.
I'm back, baby.
Like I never left, right?
Like we never left.
We back. Felt good too.
Felt
I came
good.
in a little dry. I'm a
Yeah,
little
you
sick,
did.
man.
Put a lot of
missed
fire
y'all,
under your
man.
ass. I did though.
I missed this.
I did.
I missed the whole sharing, the whole giving these thoughts, dropping these
A
dimes.
lot of shit that happened in that little break too. bro.
Yeah.
I think we need this shit,
Yeah,
man,
shit
because
exploded.
life
real.
went
Yeah.
crazy as fuck when we stopped
exploded,
shooting.
No, for real. We need this in our life.
Yeah, man.
Our lives done fell apart.
this
goddamn,
like-
after
at weekly
we stopped
therapy
doing
session.
this shit.
In every seat
in
in this
every-
motherfucker.
Man,
Listen,
look,
the Thursday call was like, oh shit.
It was
Hey, look, you
almost 2
said you
hours.
said we couldn't complain. You got a space to complain,
Bruh,
bro, and talk through it.
Damn.
And talk
Cause
through it.
because it's a
But we back.
life.
and-
Life
and-
look different now.
Yeah.
on season 2.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
It look real
Nigga.
different.
Yeah, life. Yeah, it does.
But it was a good one. It was a good one, man. And we appreciate y'all coming through. We appreciate your time as always.
Every second of it.
Hope y'all are as excited, for
Comment.
us as we are for y'all.
comment. Brandon
Like.
is replying to these comments. So comment. My
Yeah.
man is actually
Did y'all
replying.
Yeah.
Did y'all see?
They
I saw.
They saw.
Like, hit
I saw.
that bell, subscribe,
Subscribe.
pass it on, share.
Hit the bell so that when anytime we post some crazy shit, y'all get that shit. Listen,
Listening.
we on
your Spotify.
we on Instagram, we on Facebook. My man got us on TikTok now, so we about
TikTok.
to be doing dances and shit, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dancing
Oh, we ain't doing
machine.
no It's a dancing machine, so that's coming. So, hey man, as always, thank y'all for coming through.
Appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
All love.
This how I'm feeling inside. Every line that I ride, I just hope I don't cry. I'm just spitting. Yeah, I'm just spitting.
Hey man, we just coming back. Man, get back familiar and all kinds of shit with the mic and the words. Man,
Yeah,
that
we
first
got- we-
episode.
the light.
We
In
probably
the
need
light.
to reintroduce ourselves.
Hey, that first episode.
My name is.
was crazy.
Dance machine.
Man.
Nitro.
Nigga said I'm a dancing fool, bitch. Hey, that shit funny.
I don't even know if I was on beat, but I was dancing.
That's why this video.
like the
That's why
white
this
nigga
video
off a
got
hitch.
to. That's why this video got to happen.
It got to come
It's
out.
got to be
Hey, leak
somewhere.
it, leak it.